All right, welcome back to the market statistics from October 2023. We're going to be taking a look at what's going on in the market and what we can expect going forward as we close out 2023 and head into 2024. So let's dive right in. The average sale price in October was $380,532. You can see that we've kind of wavered since April, right in this range between about $375 and $410. We've kind of just stayed right in that range. Which, if you know stock markets and you take a look at investments and things like that, it's very typical. You'll have a big rise, you'll even out. You'll have a big drop, you'll even out. There just tends to be a lot of stability during certain times, and then you'll have quick rises, quick runs, or quick drop-offs. Now, as you guys know, we've come out of like a 3-year run where prices have just blown up. The last 3 years, we've increased pretty steadily, all the way up until about I would say probably April of 2022. Started to see a little bit of a decline from there, and then we've come right back up to new all-time highs in the middle of 2023. Again, right now we're starting to trend down a little bit. Going into the holidays, that's very typical. You typically see home prices trend down or even out to close out the year. Again, these are the last 3 months of 2021, last 4 or 5 months of 2022. And again, you'll probably see a couple more months trending down here in 2023. And then when spring hits, you'll see the market start to pick up again. Again, if you look at the last 3 years, 380,532 now. 1 year ago, we were higher at 392,067. That was 2.9% higher than we're looking at right now. But 2 years ago, we were at 352, and 3 years ago, 299,000. So from 300,000 all the way up to 380,000 over the last 3 years. Still very solid equity if you've owned your home for any span or any length of time. Price per square foot been really evened out for most of this year. I think we hit new all-time highs. I think this was $230 per square foot in June, and we've pretty much been even since then. I think we're sitting right at $225 per square foot now. I don't expect that to drop off too heavily. I think that's probably going to hold consistent as we head into spring, and then you'll probably start to see things creep up as rates start to creep down, which is what we're expecting going into Q2, Q3 of next year. Taking a look at new listings. For 2023, we've been extremely low as far as the new inventory coming on the market, and that's been kind of what has kept prices up even as rates have been increasing throughout the year. So we had 278 new listings in October, and again, you can see that's here, a slight rebound from September, but I don't expect us to see a huge rebound in inventory heading into the holidays again. It's typically a slower time. We'll have to wait until spring to start to see that rebound in inventory. Looking at the last 3 years, we're still a little bit low. 271 new listings this year in October. A year ago, 300. That was already kind of trending down by then. 300 last October. 353 2 Octobers ago, and 393 3 Octobers ago. You can see just a steady trend down as far as new inventory goes. Fortunately, demand has started to trend down a little bit since COVID has tailed off, since the pandemic's tailed off. The overall homes for sale still pretty low, but slowly trending upwards. We've got 542 homes on the market in Tulare County as a whole. Again, still pretty low, but it's getting better. The number of pending sales continuing to drop off throughout the second half of 2023. Again, it's typical for activity to die off heading into the holidays, but this has been low. This entire year has been slower overall, which again, with rising rates, you would expect. Taking a look at the last 3 years, 199 this October, 209 the previous October. Again, we were already trending down at that point in time. 334 2 Octobers ago, and 364 3 Octobers ago. So this was during the pandemic or coming out of the pandemic. The market was still really strong. We had a lot of buyer activity, and there was a lot of money in the market because of all that stimulus money that had gone out. Again, closed sales also dropped off. We've kind of just been wavering in here. Closed sales tends to follow pending sales. So again, if pending sales is declining, your closed sales are going to continue to decline as well. We had a drop off in October down to 184. Again, compared to the last 3 years, 213 a year ago, 331 2 years ago, and 339 3 years ago. Quite low, much slower market than we're used to seeing over the last few years. The days on market kind of been wavering, as well as along with everything else. We've kind of been wavering for the last 6 months or so, right in this range here. We're sitting at 16 days on market here. We've been down as far as 10, I think, and then up as high as 18. But really, it's not there's no crazy big twist coming over the next few months. You're going to expect a slow decline in activity until January, February hits, and we're going to start trending back up heading into the spring. Overall inventory, this is the good news of this whole thing right here. Like, yeah, prices are a little bit more affordable for buyers, you know what I mean? But that's typical. We expect that. Fortunately, we're starting to see inventory start to trend back up. We've been down here under 2 months of inventory, slowly creeping up over 2 months of inventory. Now we're at 2.4 months. Again, the typical buyer's market is like 5 or 6 months of inventory. So we're still way into the seller's market range. More buyer activity than listings available on the market, but we're getting better, and that's a good sign. So to summarize, the average sale price has bounced up and down between $375,000 and $410,000 since April of this year after 3 years of steady increases. Price per square foot pulled back to $225 per square foot in October, well below the previously recorded all-time high of $230 per square foot in June, but again, still holding very strong. The market's not in danger right now. Inventory is still low, even though rates are high, and we're expecting rates to start trending back down. So when you look at next year, I would expect home prices to start rising again as we head into spring or summer. New listings remain significantly lower this year than in previous years, with only 278 new properties hitting the market in October. This has been the trend of these videos, as we've basically been doing these all year, and we've had low inventory all year. Sellers, if you're on the fence, this is a great time to sell just because there's not a lot of competition out there. The holidays are tough because buyer activity is down. Seller activity is obviously going to be down. So most people don't sell during this time unless they have to. However, just overall, buyer activity is up and seller activity is down. So as we head into the spring, if you're thinking about selling, it's going to be a great time to do it. Pending sales dropped in October while closed sales fell off. Buyer activity has been lower than previous years, while the holidays are always slow, so this isn't a surprise. This is kind of the same things we've been talking about. Pending and sold activity has dropped off significantly this year as a whole, but heading into October, November, December, totally expect this as people kind of shut down for the holidays. Homes for sale are slowly rising, but we're still all the way down at 2.4 months of inventory. And this is the biggest concern in the real estate market right now, because as I mentioned, the average market, the typical, baseline even would be about 5 months of inventory. So 6 months, 7 months, 8 months of inventory, that's typically a buyer's market, and anything below 5 months is typically a seller's market, where they have most of the advantage in negotiations typically. So when you get into a buyer's market, you see a lot more closing cost concessions and things like that. When you get into the seller's market, you see more of this appraisal gap, multiple offer situation type of stuff. So we're still very much in the seller's market. As a buyer, you need to be willing to come with your pre-approval. You need to be ready to come hard with an offer if it's a house that you really want, because it's still a competitive market, especially on homes that are priced properly. So I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next month with November's market data, but thank you again for taking in all this content. If you guys have any comments or questions, please throw them in the comments and I will try to cover that. Again, my name is David Haun, and thank you for watching.